Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Monday morning. Got a big show lined up. We got a big week lined up here. Hopefully we'll get through it and dodge all this weather, and hopefully we'll get some outdoor activities talked about and shown and just really get out and enjoy the outdoors. But right now, let's take a look at the weather. High today is only going to be, I say only, it's going to be 82, but it's only going to go down to 71. Water temperature is still around 77. Now, when I give the water temperature at the end of the pier, usually you can take about 2 degrees away and it's that much cooler in the bay. The bay is a little bit cooler this time of year, so it's about 75 in the bays. I'm talking about the West Bay and the East Bay area, so keep that in mind. It's pretty close, but it's a couple of degrees cooler. Take a look at our Monday moon phase. We taking a look at it. We're right now in the last part of the waning. We're going to have a new moon next Sunday, the 15th. It'll start waxing up starting next Sunday. So we're going to have some good dark nights. If you want to get out and do your final floundering for the year, final November floundering in Florida, perhaps forever, because it looks like it's going to be closed starting next year for the rest of the time for flounder gigging and flounder fishing in the month of November. So enjoy this year while you can. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're looking at high tide at 2:20 this morning, good strong tide. It's going out all morning until right after lunch at 1:08. So that's a good movement right there. A marine forecast don't look good. It looks like around northeast 15 to 20. So be aware of what's going on there. Just I know most of y'all are watching everything, so you just don't really want to get out on a boat today. So take a look at the overall picture is just sort of shaky right now, but we'll get everything straightened out soon and probably toward the end of the week. We'll start looking at. I'm looking at a tide chart at the end of the week. We've got neap tides on Thursday and Friday, okay, but this Saturday is going to be a really strong tide. So go ahead and make your Saturday plans to do some fishing this Saturday. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at all kinds of things coming up. One of the big things coming up is going to be this tournament we talked about last week. We'll mention it again today because it's going to be happening this Saturday. It's a surf fishing tournament. You just don't get a lot of these tournaments. I'm just tickled that Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle is putting this on, okay? And Fish Bites are one of the sponsors. Fish Bites, they sell a bunch of it up here. So it's going to be Saturday, November the 14th. It's going to start at 5 a.m. and go to 5, a good 12 hours. You can fish for 12 hours, okay? And the way in there, right there in Panama City Beach Parkway, there's the map. You can view the map and check it out. But anyway, you're talking about $500 for the aggregated pompano weight. And then the second one will be a $100 gift card for the biggest pompano. The third prize is a $100 gift card for the largest redfish. And it's cool, redfish and pompano, but even it gets better. A $100 gift card for the largest whiting. And you're talking about some good eating. That's some good eating right there. And there's some bonus categories on social media and all that. So this is, we're going to get out there and get started on this. So let's see. All right, let's jump over to this. We talked about this last week, and the FWC said that was a house cat that we showed the picture that Dave sent in, and they referred us to this identifying Florida's native cats. Okay, so this is interesting. This is good information here. I want you to look at, on the left is the Florida panther, on the right is a bobcat. And they do look similar. The first thing you look at, though, is the tail. Anytime you see a really long tail dragging on the ground just about it, it's going to be a Florida panther. And then there also a black tip on his tail, also on the feet. There's a little bit of the dark colors and all. And they weigh up to 60 to 160 pounds. And what surprised me right there where it says the total length, they could get 7 to 8 foot long. That's a big cat right there. And of course, that's the tail. And then right there the ears, the black around the ears, and there's the track, okay? But then the bobcat, which we used to see a lot of, we ain't seen a lot of bobcats. I think the most telling is right there when he shows the relative size of them. You see the bobcat size compared to the panther size, and their weight is 20 to 30 pounds. That's just a bobcat right there. It ain't much bigger than a house cat. I've seen some house cats almost get 20 pounds. So anyway, they got a little bit of white on the ears. So that's a good little chart there if you want to look it up. And I know some of y'all buy it up in the top right-hand corner. Some of y'all buy these Florida Panther tags, and they're interesting because they do support the panther habitat. So if you feel a movement to do that, go ahead and do it. Okay, let's get a little funny one going. You can understand the school bus drivers. We're going to sit here until all of you settle down. I don't care how long it takes. And if you've been on a school bus before, you know where that's coming from. Okay, I want to mention that Powell Adams, he's posted this before. This is special. It happened a long time ago. It happened actually in 1972. I remember when this happened. I'm going to read it to you, and I want to. We're going to, in our own way, give a respect out to Officer Harry Chapin. My fellow officer, mentor, and friend was shot and killed by a night hunter off Scotland Road in Gadsden County on this day. This was last week he posted this. Harry and I were officers in adjoining counties together, and he was my sergeant before I made sergeant. Rest in peace, my friend. You may be gone, but not forgotten. So in honor of him, now this is special to me because I've known Powell Adams a very long time. But I remember when this incident happened. It was right close to Quincy, actually what's called Midway, which is halfway between Quincy and Tallahassee. And we remember the next morning we got word back then. You didn't have social media that a game warden had been killed, and we all said what? Because it just doesn't happen around that area. And basically, the guy was out there night hunting, and what made it unique was because on the property the guy was on, I knew that family. There's a well-to-do, good folks up there, and they were just, they didn't know night hunters on there, so the officer said something, and then the guy just shot him. And anyway, so it was heartbreaking to everybody, and I didn't realize back then the connection of Powell Adams to Officer Chapin. But anyway, I went ahead and I'm on the next segment. I said I sent Powell a message. I remember when that happened, and I've often wondered how much time that guy did. That's what he did. Powell Adams answered me, Winston Chester, I think he got out after 20 years. He was on parole when it happened. And then I said, thanks, Powell. It just don't seem right. So I just wanted to mention that, and it was a situation where, our game wardens, what we used to call them, our wildlife officers, they face constant danger, as so many law enforcement officers do. And I just have a lot of respect for those guys, especially when they're working that night shift. And anyway, Powell, thank you for giving tribute each year to Officer Chapin. Okay, let's go and take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I was thinking last night, we're about to hit the part of what we call late fall. So we're about to hit what's called late fall fishing. Fall starts officially. I'm just going by the calendar, and really we get cooler weather a lot later than we used to, but officially fall starts back in September. It will end on December the 22nd. That's when winter starts. So we're about to hit the stage of our late fall fishing pattern. So keep that in mind as you're making plans. In fact, I just sort of jumped ahead. I talked to a guy the other day about winter fishing, and I was telling him how good whiting fishing was and speckled perch and all. And I said, winter fishing, so many of us hunters we're out in the woods and we just don't do that much winter fishing. But when I do, it's always good. So make plans for your late fall fishing, and we'll talk more about it. Maybe on tomorrow's show, we'll talk about it some more. But we got some more pictures I want to show you. I was actually looking last night also. Sometimes at night, the night before I do this show, I put this show together in 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes me two hours and 2.5 hours sometimes. It's just, I don't know, sometimes you have these inspirations and sometimes you don't have these inspirations and you have to struggle for it. But anyway, I do a lot. It's sort of like me getting prepared for doing Gail tells me I'm doing my homework. And if I start digressing, she'll say, get back on your homework. But I was looking at some old DVDs last night, and I was really thinking about when Jeff and I take off for Christmas break, we'll try to get some best of the year, and also I'd like to do some throwbacks and vintage ones. And I was looking at some last night. I went way back to some early years on DVDs, and I want to make sure they're still preserved, and they are. But I got a hoot looking at some of them. Some of them had Captain Roy in it and myself. But I took a picture of this from a TV screen. This is back in 2007. I'm just going to show you the picture. Check this picture out here. This is Brad Stevens from the Sunjammers, and that's the Studio B set. Isn't that Jeff, or is that a different one? I don't know. That might be a different one. Actually, the studio was down off Harrison Avenue. But anyway, I just got a kick. I sent this picture to Brad, and he got a kick out of it. So, okay, let's move on. My friend Lester Anderson, he sent me a picture last week of his son getting a big hog. His son Heath. He sent me a picture. Okay, he sent me a picture now. This is what he calls little man. This is his grandson, and they went a couple of days after this. So good job. This is Jarrett Anderson. So good job. And it went about the same place. I tell you, a lot of hogs out there. Let's look at some dates now. Speaking of youth doing stuff in the outdoors, this Saturday starts the Youth Waterfowl Hunting Days, on November the 14th. So if you got some ducks lined up or somewhere to go, it'd be a good time to take a youth out there. We used to go to Bayou George. There's so many houses there now you can't go. That's the thing about duck hunting. There are so many houses along the water. Let me tell you a quick story talking about that. My nephew used to do a lot of duck hunting, and they were in Apalachicola Bay, and they were away from where the Apalachicola Bay Bridge goes into St. George Island. And he had 2 or 3 of his buddies, and they put out a big spread. They were within sight of the bridge where they were shooting, they were shooting out onto the water, so wasn't close in the house. They waited out. They were way out there. They waited out about 100-something yards. But said what happened, people would go by the bridge, and some of these, well, you know what kind of people I'm talking about. They would blow the horn, the ducks coming in. They'd sit there and they'd blow the horn to scare the ducks away and get out, wave at the ducks. And so they don't really hunt there much anymore. So that's sort of wacky. Okay, let's move on. Archery season was going to be right. Well, a lot of y'all have sent some good pictures of it. But anyway, the youth deer. I want to talk about youth, keeping that our theme right now. The youth deer hunt is on the bottom there, December the 5th through 6th. Of course, the general gun season is that Thanksgiving weekend. Then it closes back up, and then it'll open back up December the 12th, and that's sort of right around the corner. And let me see. I looked up last night putting the show together. I thought October was a pretty wet month, and this has come from the National Weather Service, and this is said we had 6 days of rain, and our Panama City had 3.6. Apalachicola had 4.2 amounts of rain. I thought we had a little bit more than that. I had that much in my house in one day, it looked like. But anyway, we're checking on it too. Okay, here, Dave Borges, he sent me, Winston, I'll give you lots of credit avoiding any politics on your show. I DVR and watch all your shows. Thanks, Dave. And let me mention that I really, way back from the very beginning, I said, this show is going to be about the outdoors and what we do in the outdoors, what we love in the Florida Panhandle, and we're not going to bring politics in it. There's about 197 shows on radio and TV about politics, and you choose your side, and always try to choose what you think is right and good for our country. But we're not going to do politics on our show, and thank you, Dave, for realizing that. So, okay, so let's see. I got a couple other things too. One thing, I was looking up, one place we don't talk a lot about, it was right up the road from here, is the Fitzhugh Carter track. And that's right up there in Greenhead. And I looked up the information for it last night, and go online to the FWC place, and now they put the brochures online, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but they've closed, this check station's been closed because to minimize exposure. The Fitzhugh Carter check station and all related facilities are temporarily closed. However, the area is open to hunting and fishing. So it is open, and that was just a notice they sent. You can still go up there. The gates open at 6 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. So I guess, I don't know how they control the number of people going in there. They used to be real strict about people going in there. So anyway, I had more information here, and right here, so that top line right there, it says 20 anglers allowed on the area per day. And daily permits are first come, first served. Well, how do you do at a check station if it's closed? So I'm going to run up there and check on that. I might go, I don't know when I'm going to go. I'm going to go check on it. Anyway, but be aware of the Fitzhugh Carter. Okay, so, okay, now the other thing, let's go at a breaking point. I got all kinds of things coming up. We're going to take a little bit of early break and then come back with a lot more stuff. So we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So glad you're with us. Appreciate the viewership. Let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 5:40 to 7:40 right now, and then that's this morning and this afternoon, 6:06 to 8:06. So good folks down in Blue Water, and this is a great time of the year to. Well, the water, what I call it, is this fall clear. We're getting ready for that. The water is really cleared up. I was talking to Scott Lenz the other day down on the west end of the beach where he lives. He was telling me how the water's cleared up down that way. The bay out in front of my house is cleared up. St. Joe Bay is looking clear. And these storms, most of them got there. We don't know what's going to happen now. It's going to be a little messed up here for the next couple of days. But that winter clear, late fall clear is coming on us. Let's add a couple of names here. How about Bobby Brown and Betty Brown? They sent a picture last week of their grandson on his first hunting trip, getting that big old buck up there in Georgia. So y'all are now in the pot. Okay, now, also want to mention I've got some more pictures. I'm running out of time. I may not get all my pictures in, but I had to show you this. A lot of y'all know Dennis Massey, a local guy here. Dennis, copperhead snake under my bed at the hunt camp. He can sing falsetto now. He's a musician in a way, and he's a good one. And don't you imagine you will get scared. But what we're talking about, the copperhead all the time. The copperhead is giving us a fit. Then this is not good. Ted Schubert with the Panama City Kayak Fishing Association, his Maverick 120 went missing from Mallet Bayou in Choctawhatchee Bay. It was taken from a backyard from the water. Any advice on getting it back? So if you see one of these, hate to see this kind of stuff happen when somebody steals your stuff, especially your sporting goods stuff like that. And I just saw this, just a picture here. This is really, a lot of times power lines make really good hunting blinds where you put a hunting blind because you have such an open area. Now you got to have a good gun to get out there to them and all, but that's just a really good one. And okay, now I also have let me see. We'll skip this. I'm not going to have time for this one. I want to get into, we got some more pictures from Paul Winterman. And this is on a specific subject. He looked a long time to find some bull elks and wanted to get them in a situation where they're sparring back and forth. And he was able to do that. And let me see. Here he was just talking about right here up in the Rocky Mountains. So here he found some bull elks, okay? Now follow this sequence of events here. Okay, there he's got them fighting. Now, first of all, the massive size of those antlers are just, the damage can be done. So here they are sparring, and he said he just sat there for hours waiting for this to happen. And so here they are tied up. And one of the things you're going to notice in this series of pictures, I'll zoom in on this. I don't know what that's wrapped around is the base of that one on the left. I don't know if at first I thought that was some of the shedding coming off, but I don't know, because you'll start seeing some blood. Okay, look at that's what it looks like to me. It's shedded. So we talked about that yesterday. It shed, and the blood was coming from that. So actually, this was okay. Let's go. We got some more here. Here's our fighting again. Okay, again, just a great series of this kind of stuff going on. Just action shots. And they're charging into each other. That's just really good. Okay, speaking of, and I've just got this text in. Steve Shea, check this out. Steve Shea, he sent this to me yesterday. 150 and 7/8 inch out of Missouri. I said, awesome, Steve, congratulations. He has his cameras up there, and he sort of, this is what's cool about this, what kind of hunter Steve is. He does not leave any stone unturned as far as researching and make sure he knows what. And you see with the crossbow there, got a scope on it, and that's top of the line hunting. And he knew that buck was on there. So when he gets back into town, he'll stay up there a couple of weeks, I think. When he gets back in town, we'll get him to come on the show and sort of talk about what he did as far as doing some of that stuff. Okay, now, let's see. I got out one thing I want to talk about. We're talking about making our plans and all, and a lot of y'all are still putting in food plots, including myself. We're at last minute, but it's still a good time to do it. Don't wait to do it. But I was talking to Buddy the other day. I said, I've gotten out of my all my hunting and fishing. I've sort of been slowed down in the last 2 years. As I reflected back on it, it goes back to Hurricane Michael, how that knocked everything out that fall. But then the following spring and summer, all of us were just doing repairs and still doing stuff. And so that was 2018 on into 2019 and sort of getting things back together. And in fact, I just finished this past week getting my pole barn put back up, which is 2 years. So I'm about finished, completely finished. But then my hunting place up there is still like this. And McGeechee, I know you're gonna get up there and help me one day. I know you promised to do that. I appreciate that very much. Also, you had that, and then you had a pandemic. And although it didn't hurt outdoor stuff, it sort of put us in a bind with other things going on, and it just put a lot of stress, unnecessary stress on people to take care of other things before you do your outdoors. So you come on, that's the second thing. And in my situation, this past summer and early fall, I ran for school board, and that took a lot of my time. I remember one day I was out there waving signs. It was a beautiful afternoon, and I had a couple people with me. I didn't do a lot because of the pandemic, but I did get out and wave signs. And I did wave signs. I said, wait a minute. Instead of doing this, I ought to be doing this. What am I thinking? And I was telling people with me, they got a kick out of it. I said, no, you can't do that. I told them, I'm going to leave it with them. I want to go do this instead of this. But anyway, so what I'm saying, a lot of us, including myself, we sort of have gotten out of our outdoor routine, and I'm already making plans to make my resolutions for 2021. And man, it's going to be, I'm going to really boom, boom, boom with those top three. You know what it's going to be with the hunting and all that, and the fishing and outdoor stuff. But these last couple of years, I understand, and I know you understand how a lot of us have sort of had to put it on the back burner, but not anymore. I'm getting ready to kick it back off and put things in proper perspective, okay? Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all do something good today for fellow man. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.